Click for IB Biology. Here we're going to be looking at the common features to be seen in all cells. There is a blank PDF of this presentation down in the description, so you can make your own notes as we go through. There's also some quiz questions, 10 questions with answers that you can use to check your understanding of this part of the course. So all cells, all living things are made of cells, and that begs the question, exactly what is a cell? So the cell is defined by the presence of a lipid-based, usually thought of as a phospholipid membrane called the plasma membrane or the cell membrane. And this defines the limits of the cell, the living component of the cell membrane. And the function of the plasma membrane is quite elaborate. We'll study this in greater detail, but it's to control what goes into and indeed what goes out of the cell. So there's a control mechanism within this membrane. The contents of the cell are generally referred to cytoplasm, a kind of thought of as a gel-like feature. Within this, of course, there are actually, once we get to the electron microscopy level, we're going to discover that the cytoplasm is actually a complex network of interconnecting tubular systems and big molecules, which are, of course, the organelles. But we're not making that comparison quite yet. So all cells have this controlling plasma membrane, controlling what goes into and out of the cell. They have the cytoplasm with their organelles. So this is where the chemistry of life takes place. We call that biochemistry. So this all takes place in here. And the third feature, so there's feature 1, there's feature 2. The third common feature of all cells is a nucleic acid. This is the genetic information. And it will very much depend upon the type of cell, whether or not it takes the form of linear chromosomes inside a nucleus, or whether it would take the form of this loop-like structure in prokaryotic cells known as the nucleoid. You don't get them together, of course, it would be one or the other. So 3 characteristics in common with all cells: membrane, cytoplasm, and the nucleic acid, the genetic information. As we go through the course, we're going to encounter these types of organism. The bacterial prokaryotic cells, they're very, very small, of course. Single-celled species, a great diversity known as the protoctistans. The plants, animals, and the fungi. And although they all have those 3 features in common, the plasma membrane, the genetic material, and the cytoplasm, they all have those, but the form in which it takes in each of these groups is quite different, and the student is challenged to begin to build up an understanding of similarities and the differences as you go through the course. And so this is something you need to continually revisit and review. So let's just do a quick version of this. We're going to just consider plants, animals, and fungi here. So these are all eukaryotic features. You will probably be aware that plants have cellulose, cell walls, and so they have a cell wall. Animals do not. Fungi, they have walls, but here's the difference. It's made of a different molecule. It's made of this substance called chitin. Plants are well known to have chloroplasts for photosynthesis, but animals again do not have those, and neither do the fungi. So the differences are now beginning to build up, by which we can discern one type of organism from another. The vacuole is present in the plants, not in animals, and certainly not in fungi. Centrioles, which are protein molecules used in the organization and separation of chromosomes, etc., not in the plants. Present in animals, but not in fungi. So one can start to build up a picture of the similarities and the differences. And these items listed down here, the student will become familiar with these as we go. Cilia, small hair-like extensions, not known in plants, but certainly present in animals, such as in the cells of your trachea, but not in fungi. Flagella, a long structure used for propelling the cell forward, not known in plants, present in animals, but very different structure to that found in the prokaryotic bacterial cells, and certainly never found in the fungi. So although there's a complex of items in this table, as we go through the course, the students are asked to review their awareness of the presence and absence of these items, especially when you're looking at specimens. You can use this and rehearse these similarities and differences because they play a fundamental part in the functioning of these organisms and indeed in their classification. So we're going to take a look at the prokaryotic organisms in our next video. The playlist will link you through to other items on eukaryotic structure and of course the link to the channel.